Welcome to an episode of Chat Sports Talk, and welcome to yet another conference realignment. But this one is actually what's happening right now in the landscape of college athletics and which schools will be moving to when and where they're going to go. So we're kind of doing some of the ones that are going to happen in 2025. These ones you'll see happen right away. And for the FBS, Conference USA welcomes in Delaware and Missouri State as full members. They will be ineligible for bowls postseason and FBS the first year, but now they become full members of Conference USA. UMass has left the A10 basketball behind and has gone full into the MAC. Two new programs will also begin being launched this year in the FCS ranks. UT Rio Grande Valley will have its first season in the Southland. And Chicago State will be launching their football program, although they will not be running at capacity as of yet, but they will be joining the Northeast Conference in terms of football, probably in 2026, but they have announced they have launched football at Chicago State. St. Francis has made the announcement that they are dropping their Division I athletics to the Division III conference due to NIL. This is a former Northeast Conference member. To replace them, Northeast Conference extended an invitation to New Haven over there in Connecticut to replace them. Their football program will surely follow shortly thereafter. Another SCS conference moves. Richmond is moving from the Coastal football to join the Patriot League. They will be followed shortly by Villanova and William and Mary. WAC lost two members. Seattle left the WAC to rejoin the West Coast Conference. And Grand Canyon also left the WAC, will be joining the Mountain West. I mean, those are just some of the minor things happening just for this season. And it should make it kind of interesting to see where things transpire, especially look at how the SEC went to 16, the Big Ten's at 18, the ACC's at 18 officially. It just seems how these conferences are going. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're trying to increase the footprint, looking at programs that should elevate their profile in certain sports, which means they get bigger media rights deal. NIL is getting a little out of control, I believe. And that's just me. And we'll see these programs just kind of go back and forth, trying to figure out where to kind of go from there. Now, these are not the only moves to really talk about. Some other ones to look about is the reemergence of the Pac-12. As we all know, they raided the Mountain West. They grabbed Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Utah State to fill it in, and as well as grabbing Gonzaga from the West Coast Conference for basketball. And they just recently extended an invitation to Texas State to also become a member, to get them to that 8-member threshold for a conference needs, because that's what is needed for the FBS. The Pac-12 had a waiver for 2 years because their deal was in place. So the FBS gave the Pac-12, technically the Pac-2, their waiver. Fortunately, Oregon State, Washington State will also join schools like UConn, South Florida, Temple, Tulane, Rice, Memphis, have all being once considered a power program, being dropped down to a group. Yes, Memphis was one for one season when they were in the American for that 1 year. The American Athletic was a member of the BCS AQ branch until the BCS was ended. In terms of Mountain West, they had to backfill programs leaving. The first one they went after is UTEP, a program that's well versed with some of the members in the Mountain West. They all was members of the old WAC. They brought in Grand Canyon, previously mentioned, as well as UC Davis will be coming in as a non-football member. So maybe it gives them a pathway to have their football program move to the Mountain West. And Northern Illinois becomes a football-only member. All the other sports end up going to the Horizon League. But then we look at the WAC. The WAC is a tragic story, to say the least. They were a conference for the first one to get to 16 in the modern football era, only to have it dissolve after the original members left to create the Mountain West. And then members start leaving 2 by 2 to join the Mountain West until WAC no longer sponsored football, became a basketball conference. Then they went this full into resurrecting football. Snag schools from the Southland only have a couple of them go back there. Lamar, State of Austin, and UT Rio Grande Valley went back before their football launched. Then they're seeing their West Coast programs leave. They saw Seattle go to the West Coast. Grand Canyon, who initially had a deal to go to the West Coast, balked at, went to and going to the Mountain West. Cal Baptist went to the Big West. Utah Valley going to the Big West. Utah Tech and Southern Utah are now in the Big Sky as Southern Utah returns to that conference. So that just left Abilene Christian, UT Arlington, and Tarleton as the only members of the WAC still there. Well, they decided to look towards the conference they shared with the ASUN football programs, the United Athletic. So these are the programs with Austin Peay, Eastern Kentucky, Arkansas, North Alabama, West Georgia. And you're like, you know what? We're going to make this a full-fledged conference now. So all the members of the United Athletic will now pull all their sports into this conference. This conference would just take over the WAC's AQ status in basketball tournaments. I mean, those are some very radical moves in terms of football members, even non-football members actually making waves, making some moves. Other interesting facts in the FCS, the Ivy League is no longer abstaining from postseason play. Football players finally convinced the board of the Ivy League to let them to participate in the FCS playoffs. They tried to apply for a waiver that was denied, but they went independent. I forgot about mentioning these guys. They went independent in football. Everything else joined the Big Sky. So they want their football program somewhere else. So maybe they're expecting the Pac-12 to reach out to them. They go, hey, you bring us in as a football-only member. You're placing us with Gonzaga in basketball. There you go. The Pac-12 and Mountain West are going to be fractions of themselves. They're going to be almost clones. The Patriot League in FCS is going to add some more oomph to their scheduling, to their prowess. The WAC is going away and becoming a United Athletic. You'll see Chicago State and UT Rio Grande Valley launching their football programs. You took the Vaqueros will be their first full year in action this year. Chicago State next year. Seeing teams moving from Division I, Division III because of NIL, but you see other teams moving up from D2 to FCS. You have teams at FCS are possibly coming up, like Sacramento State and Tarleton to the FBS. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you think of some of these changes that actually are going to happen? Do you think it's good or bad for college sports? Do you like the idea of these super conferences, or do you rather see something smaller, a little bit manageable, more bite-sized, like a 12-team, 14-team conference? What things do you want to see moving forward? Do you want to see super leagues? Do you want to see certain schools possibly make the move up? Let's mix it up in the comments below. I know recently I haven't been posting as often as I should, and I noticed my numbers have dipped a bit. But please reach us out, share this video with your friends. If you like what I do, hit that thumbs up. Let's boost up the algorithm. And let's get this out to many faces as possible to enjoy my ramblings of this middle-aged old man about college sports. Provide my 2 cents and my opinion, and we all know about opinions. Well, let's mix it up in comments below. Let's be cordial. Another way you can help support this channel is to subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. Something we actually absolutely need this time frame in our lives. Something that doesn't cost anything. 100% American grade, free. All you need to do is click that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon and turn notifications so you know next time I post any more content on my channel. And I will see you next time. Chat Sports Talk.